Yes.
Okay, so the talk is digital technology. I have my very esteemed colleagues who are going to talk on various aspects of digital technology. I'll just introduce this topic and then take you to the future of ophthalmology. And I don't have any financial interests. Why digital technology? Because digital technologies redefine operations, they redefine the processes in our day-to-day practice. It also leads to standardization of processes, and it gives you accuracy in your delivery. Automation reduces errors in execution, so we perform less errors. It increases your agility and your efficiency increases. You can do much more work if you're using technologies like digital. It has got minimal human intervention, so human error is reduced. And faster decision, less human errors make artificial intelligence as a continuous intelligence which we all should use. Just a small cartoon tell you that magic, we say, how does magic occurs? Magic occurs because we don't understand most of the things what magic is causing. So let's convert this magic into science. And I'm going to talk on following few topics, which is the future of surgery and robotics, drug delivery, gene replacement, implants, teleophthalmology, and AI and machine learning, because all these are digitally possible to improve your eye care. Now, we all know that this already is in vogue, that robotic eye surgery has reached the stage of human experiments. Already, patients have been operated for cataract surgeries under this. This is a particular thing where a vitrectomy module is being built up, where you use all this, and there is a cursor, or you are using a remote control to move all your equipment in very precise way. Because when you're working close to the retina, you know how precise it should be. The precision is up to 1 to 10 microns. So that kind of precision a human body cannot do. So that is where we use this robotic eye surgeries using digital platforms. And, you can do lots of surgeries. I'll show you a couple of cartoons on this, how they are being useful. This is how you can do membrane peeling using a digital technology or digital precision. You're removing a membrane right on the surface of the retina. Here, the best thing is that a human error like a shake or like a tremor is taken care. You're very sure when you're holding like this particular thing, a very thin posterior highlight is being held, which is holding the retina, and you can just peel it without bothering, without your heartbeat disturbing your surgery. So this is what is important, that you have to understand that this is the future. People are going to use these technologies more and more. Another incidence where a 7-micron glass pipette is used to inject a drug in the vein. Now, all this is possible by robots. If I ask you to hold this needle, I think we'll have tremors. So this is where you see that this has been cannulated and a drug has been injected. So this is precision demonstration, which is possible. Robot surgery for cataracts has already been tried by Cambridge Group. They have this kind of two instruments, one holding the, whatever instrument you use on their left hand, and the right hand to hold your phaco handpiece. And this is already done on humans. Surgeon is sitting and is only using a joystick. It is moving all these instruments. All this digital developments we're going to see in a couple of years, or maybe next decade will be a digital decade, where you can see that how precisely the movements are being controlled. The number of steps involved in moving a small movement are much more than muscles which you use. So this is where I think today's topic comes into foray. That this is it. Drug delivery, again, it's just a small addition, that we can use digital technologies where new drug molecules are being developed. And what this molecule does is, instead of drug being to be put every frequently or every 4 hours, you put drug once and it lasts for a week, because from a quick dissolve, the technology is taking us to a long dissolve through digital mechanisms. So these molecules will have, already a memory in it, that one drop will last for 1 week. So that is where it is. Gene replacement therapy is another very challenging thing, which that this is another great development in science because of digital development. You can pick up a genetic defect and you can pick up the protein which is abnormal. The abnormal protein can be removed by using a gene. A gene is replaced by injecting this gene through a adenovirus. So this adenovirus is injected directly intravitreally or subretinally, which I'm going to just show you a picture. Like for instance, in case of there is no protein and now this particular gene has DNA with mutated gene, a functional gene is being injected, it goes and takes care of this defect which is present in this eye. And you use AAV via vectors and they are injected. And how they are injected is very interesting thing which I would like all of you to see, because it's a very simple virus, it doesn't affect the human beings and it reaches the place where it is in. An example of achromatopsia. So intravitreally you can inject this or you can inject it subretinally. Subretinally directly where cones are there. So this gene reaching there stimulates the cones, so they start sending the impulses for color vision, and a person who has never seen colors in life can get advantage. Just to show you here, in without achromatopsia, normal receptors, normally the signals are going back to the cortex like this, and in achromatopsia you find that the signals are not going. If they are not going, what you can do, you can always inject with this, and this is all possible because of the digital platform. You must have heard about recently one child was injected with an 18 crore injection. Now, these are the things which are coming into vogue. The CNG-B3, CNG-A3 has come and you inject directly there. And as soon as this reaches it, the dysfunctional cones become functional. And as you will see in the next cartoon, that this particular injection helps these cones to start sending the impulses into the retina or into the cortex. So artificial retina, all of you know that again is on the digital platform. You have these Argus 1, Argus 2, and all they are using digital arrays. These arrays are simulating. So if a person doesn't have a light perception, if you can start seeing movements, if you can start seeing all this due to the digital platforms, and these digital arrays are becoming more and more refined. They're becoming more and more sophisticated. This is a chip. The chip is installed and a person starts seeing. So this is again a future of ophthalmology, which I would like to wanted to take you. Now, more important is teleophthalmology. I think one of my colleagues will be talking about it. But what is important in teleophthalmology is that you must be able to provide quality of care. The liability should be limited. The security should be taken care. The quality of images you upload should be good, and it improves your workflow. This is what you get within 1 hour. You walk into a mall, you sit in front of the machine, swipe your card, it takes all the data. It gives you a fundus image, it gives you the OCT image, it gives you the glaucoma workup, and all this is available to a patient within 24 hours, and even your billing is done directly to your card. So this is what is GlobeCheck, already in vogue. Topcon has built up this machine and it's already been used. Lastly, I would like to talk about these 3 things which you should understand. What is AI, machine learning and deep learning. Regular screening is key to prevent blindness. We all appreciate that. We have shortage of doctors. 50% of the patient lose vision before in diagnosis. And a survey was done. And this survey is something which is eye-opener for us, that a diabetic retinopathy patients were examined by the machines and by the doctors. And this particular thing has resulted into, this is what is done. You drag the image into this machine and within seconds, the machine diagnoses it to be a background diabetic retinopathy or whatever and gives a grade. Now, this was compared between doctors and this thing. And to my surprise, the AI gave better repeatability or better confirmation by 0.95 as compared to doctors at 0.9. So this is what I'm trying to tell you is the future of ophthalmology, the digital imaging. And these 3, this is my last slide, where any technique which enables computer to mimic human behavior is artificial intelligence. All AI techniques that give computer ability to learn and improve itself without being explicitly programmed to do so is machine learning. And deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which makes the combination of multiple neural network feasible. So with this, I think this is the future. A patient is going to come to you that he'll start asking, do you have digital platform? If you don't have, probably then the patient will look at somebody else. And this will finish my 10 minutes.